Hey, good to see you again.
It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too.
You have a seat.
Okay, sounds good.
What an incredible year last year. You guys took such a big step making the playoffs. What was that like from the perspective of the defensive coordinator to see these young guys grow and this team come together and achieve that?
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things where, we're going on our third year here, and you're always preaching the process, and we're not worried about results. We're worried about getting better day to day. And if your process are right, then the results are going to come eventually. And so to have the ability to win the division and get to the playoff game against the Rams in this stadium right here and almost find a way to win, certainly it was a great, great moment for us. And it was certainly great to see all of the players and see this organization take a step forward.
You came to Carolina under a different coaching regime, but you were retained. Talk about your relationship with the head coach now, because you guys seem to have a very good working relationship.
Yeah, no, he is phenomenal. For me, it started off with him coming in, and he said, hey, you're the person I want to keep you here. I've seen your scheme, I've gone against you. When I was in Seattle, you were at the LA Rams, and then when I was at Tampa, you were here. We've gone against each other. I know how hard this is to play against. I see the way that you coach your players, and so it was great. And so we started off from a position of mutual respect, and he didn't come in here with like, hey, I've got all the answers. He came in like, hey, we're gonna figure this out together.
You mentioned LA and winning the Super Bowl because you were in the Super Bowl ring as a key coach on that Rams Super Bowl team under Sean McVay. You worked under Raheem Morris in the defense. You coordinated the passing game.
Yeah.
And I remember Sean years ago told me that about this young safeties coach he had working for him, and this guy was going places. And you have gone places. You've been a defense coordinator for 2 teams. What did you learn from working under Sean McVay that helped you to get to where you are now?
Well, it's you look at a head coach that stands in front of the team, and everybody knows him as an offensive genius, but he has the ability to connect with every human being in an organization. And a lot of it is he knows the offensive scheme, obviously, but he knows the defensive scheme. He knows what's the special team scheme. And so he stands in front of the team, and he can talk X's and O's with every single person, knowing what they're supposed to do, and knowing what their assignments are supposed to be. And so that's one thing he does phenomenally. He's very engaging. He's always on. He does a great job of putting good people around him. He holds a high standard. I heard a term that he didn't say this as much when I was there, but I heard a term where it's a kind of an organizational philosophy. They say it's urgent enjoyment, right? So like, hey, we're coming into work, we're enjoying what we're doing, but there's an urgency about getting better, every person that walks in the building. And so that's just the standard that he holds. It's a lot of fun to be around. And when you're in that environment, you have like, if you're not up to it, if you're not up to like getting better and putting your best foot forward every single day, you just stick out, and so it certainly raises the bar for every person in there.
I remember several years ago, I went out to Denver to write a story on you, and you talk about Sean connecting with people. When I went and talked to the guys you were coaching then, that's what they all told me about you, is your ability to connect with people. Is the X's and O's part the most important part, or is the ability to connect with players on a personal level to draw the best out of them the most important part?
Yeah, it's certainly the connection, because at the end of the day, it does not matter how much we know. It matters how much we can teach them and how much they can absorb, and so much of that is connection, and a lot of that is just trust, right? Like when you, as a coach, show that you know what you're doing, show that more importantly, you care about the players and you care about their successes, and that you are completely on board with like their success, and that's all that is driving you. And you're vulnerable to admit that, hey, I can help you, but at the same time, if I make a mistake, I'm going to own up to it, just like I'm going to expect you to own up to it. When you have that type of relationship, I think you create the environment where, okay, we're all on the same page, we're all striving for the same thing, and that's where that connection happens. And then obviously, you want to know them on a personal level. It can't just always be football, because a big part of caring about somebody is like, hey, how's your family doing? How's your kids doing? How's your wife doing? And so knowing what's going on in their lives.
You're very focused on the job you have. You're not thinking down the road in terms of ultimate career goals, because you're in it to win and to do what you need to do here. But I remember you told me once, you do want to be a head coach someday. If you got that call after the season, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I believe I am. I feel like I've built a good resume at this point. I do think there's a part of the job that until you sit in that seat and you have to go through some of those things, you don't know. But it's no different than when I became a coordinator for the first time, when I became a position coach for the first time. You're going to lean into the people that you're around. And so, you got to get good people around you. And then, I think I'm ready for that opportunity.
There are a record-tying 10 openings for head coaches this past offseason. Only one coach of color was hired. Are you hopeful that you'll definitely have the opportunity legitimately to possibly get a head coaching job?
Yes, I am. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing I tell our players. You can't control the decisions others make. And so to obsess over it or worry about it does you no good, What we can control is how hard we work, how good we are in our current role, how do we continue to develop. And so that's what I try to focus in on. We're focused in on the 2026 version of the Carolina Panthers. How can we make this defense and this team the best version of itself? How can I continue to grow in terms of how I approach my craft with the scheme and dealing with people and the leadership aspect of it? And so that's my big concern.
Well, you've gotten there, man.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, brother.